Off a day, everybody.
Off a day.
Were you guys waiting for me? Sorry, I was a little late. We just got off with the governor. So why don't we get started, Dr. Shelton?
Yes, sir.
I know
Okay.
we have a long agenda, or not a long agenda, but we have a pretty good agenda today. I just wanted to add this. I just want to thank everybody again for your efforts. I do have to tell you that this effort that we've been putting and the structure that we've created, it is being seen by a lot of other countries, including in our region. And in a call I've had in the last couple of weeks with the GLISPA folks, this has reinvigorated a lot of interest, not only in our region. Of course, we have some great, we have some awesome neighbors who have been in the forefront of the sustainability business or this effort, but also around the world. So I do want to tell you that there are a lot of eyes. It has also been a good success for Hawaii Green Growth. This partnership with Guam Green Growth also, helps support the funding that they received from the U.S. federal government. And it's these collaborative efforts that really have been very successful and effective. So I just want to tell everybody, sometimes when you might think that you're in this alone or you might feel a little frustrated, please don't, because my job, along with Dr. Shelton, is to make sure that we provide your committees with the kind of support and to steer other folks that are within your realm to not only be cooperative, but to be very active. So I just wanted to open with that. And Dr. Shelton?
Thanks very much, Lieutenant Governor. I just want to echo that sentiment that we are leading the way, and others are starting to take notice. So the Lieutenant Governor mentioned the Global Island Partnership call he was on. He was invited to be on the steering committee for the Global Island Partnership. And the governor is now named as a GLISPA leader. So I think that might be the first time, well, at least the first time that I know of in GLISPA history that Guam has taken a big leadership role like that. And if you were able to tune into that event with Vanjie and Trina, we played a very active role in the latest virtual event and celebration. Actually, maybe Trina or Vanjie can give us the more details on that event a little later, but that was a good thing to share as well. So we're being seen as a leader in this global movement for island sustainability, and happy to have all your support and a really great framework that we can share with the rest of the world. One of the things that we're consistently trying to say here at G3 is that this is our local action for global impact in sustainability, and the G3 dashboard, the framework, and that's all helping us to demonstrate those things. So I have a few updates for everybody today. You may have seen through Lauren's emails and some news announcements that we are moving forward with the Guam Green Growth Conservation Corps program. So we have actually lots of applicants coming in, and it's still open for another 8 days. I think we have well over 100 applicants for our 12 positions that will be working on sustainability initiatives and receiving workforce development training over the next 5 months, starting around mid-June. They'll be doing projects in island beautification, agriculture, aquaculture, energy efficiency, reforestation, circular economy. So we're really excited for all of those projects to commence. It'll be a busy 5 months, and we hope to find ways to keep that going through other local or grant funding. We're also tracking the Biden administration's Climate Corps initiative and hope that the Conservation Corps will be sort of a pilot for Guam that can take over and keep that effort going. Oh, and I see Romina too. She's got a cool drone corps at the same time. And I was joking with her, we might have to battle the Conservation Corps and the drone corps and see what we can do. We also have the G3 garden work moving forward. So we had a meeting this morning with Vice Speaker Tina Munya Barnes, who is the Committee on Rules Chair, and we reconfirmed that we have access to the property, which was the old Department of Administration building right across from the Hagatna Post Office. So we're going to have a 40-foot by 30-foot community garden on raised beds on that concrete slab, beginning to get built over the summer with our partners Guam Sustainable Culture and the AmeriCorps program. So that will be an exciting project, a visible way to promote more food security and also engage with the community in the Hagatna area. Hopefully we'll be able to work with some of the houseless populations there and other at-risk populations to get them part of this community movement, community gardening. Let's see, my other updates are that the G3 Makerspace and Innovation Hub continues to move forward. Miracles here on the line. We have a lot of the orders getting processed, and so we hope that the machines are going to be shipped in over the next few weeks and months, and we'll get that place open. We are also beginning our plastic bag ban outreach in partnership with the Guam EPA. And we have the Guam Green Growth Commitment Program moving forward. And I have Anania here to give us a quick update on which mayors and partners have already signed on to this Guam Green Commitment, Guam Green Growth Commitment.
Half a day, everyone. So if you did attend the conference, we had awarded PD, Dededo, Hagatna, and Sinahanya mayors for achieving the first 2 badges. And then with the help of the MPA students that are actually graduating this weekend, we had also gotten Mingilao, Yumatak, Mongmongtotumaiti, Inarahan, Timaneng, Jotnya, and Agate to commit to our badge program. We're still hoping to get the rest of the villages, and we also did open it up to businesses since the conference. So we'll be trying to reach out to more businesses, continuing moving forward. I already had a few meetings with 3 different businesses that are interested, so we're hoping to keep that list growing.
Thanks, Anania. And then just a reminder about this program. This is this is one of the ways that we're going to engage with our broader community. So it's for businesses and community organizations, building up to our first G3 Biannual Meeting back in April and the Island Sustainability Conferences. We were able to work with the Masters of Public Administration class to get village mayors to be the early adopters of the Guam Green Commitment and to recognize their leadership in already doing a lot for SDGs 1, no poverty, and SDG 2, zero hunger, with all the pandemic response that's been going on. So we're thankful for all of these mayors for signing up early, and for we're going to continue to build on this relationship by getting some of them, like those recycling bins that are going to be provided through the Recycling Revolving Fund. And we're partnering with Peggy Denny at iRecycle to ensure that those items are recycled. And we're also putting the waste receptacles into different parks in partnership with DPR. So those are just a few of the things that we've got going on. And lastly, for my updates, I want to introduce a new member of our team here with us today. We have brought on board, we're very fortunate to have Mr. Kyle Mandapat as our new Assistant Director for Communications for the Center for Island Sustainability, Sea Grant, and our Guam EPSCOR program. So Kyle, would you like to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Hi, it's good to see you. It's good to work with you in this new capacity. Hi, Jane. I'm looking forward to working together with everybody and helping to kind of spread the word and keep us moving in the direction that we all know we need to be moving in. This is one of the most important opportunities that I've ever been given in my life, and I take it very seriously. So I'm really looking forward to, as I said, moving forward with you and growing the program and the knowledge of everything that we deserve here on the island. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Kyle. We're really lucky to have you. And just in case I don't have another spot later on the agenda, Vanjie and Trina, could you give us that update about that Micronesia Challenge event that happened a few weeks ago?
Sure, Vanj, why don't you go first?
Okay, I'll just give you a little. So our event was celebration of the Micronesia Challenge. The Micronesia Challenge is really a regional conservation initiative that started in about 15 years ago. And one of our targeted goals was 2020. So we wanted to be able to do conservation, effective management for terrestrial and marine resources. And our goal was 2020. We had some targets, and so we expanded that, and so we have a new goal, which is going to be for 2030. But we wanted to really celebrate what we've been accomplishing through all the work within the region. So it's Guam, Sinamai, Palau, FSM, RMI, and there's been a lot of things that has been done. But what we wanted to also is have it brought back to the forefront, because it's really a basis for a lot of the conservation work that has been being done over the last 15 years. And so it was a celebration of that, and we are very fortunate that Trina was able to be our main MC for the event. We worked with Austin's group, and they did a fantastic job, and we were able to reach over 150 people during the event, and probably more than that, because there was a lot of groups. And so the governor was able to participate with the president and the governors of all the leaders within the region. And so I think it really shows that how the environment is so tied to everything that we're doing. And so we wanted to celebrate that. Trina, would you like to add?
I think you covered everything. I do think we actually reached over 250 people all told. It was also live streaming on President Panuelo's Facebook page and some other venues, and we've since sent it out through Global Land Partnership and some of the other networks. So yeah, it was great to have all 5 leaders, and lots of recommitments and from partners like the SPREP, Global Environment Facility, TNC, my CEO, our Conservation International, some others, all the Hawaii, the Aloha Plus Challenge, they all also reaffirmed support. So it was really great.
So, and one of the things that was nice was that we are really around the region looking at G3 and that partnership that we're having. So G3 plays a big part in the work that Guam is doing in the Micronesia Challenge. And so I think the other jurisdictions are also looking at this framework to incorporate all the other things, not just the natural resources, but the things like poverty and social issues, as well as the other things that make communities important.
I understand, Vanjie, that it's the Marshall Islands is the one that's coming up next to have a green growth initiative.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, the leaders seem to be very excited about this, and especially even the dashboard. I think it's just a mechanism for us to capture what's being done across all sectors.
Thank you, Vanjie and Trina. And that was another great virtual event that we were able to highlight from Guam. And it's actually led to a new invitation for Guam Green Growth and the Center for Island Sustainability to partner with the Global Island Partnership for the next 2 years. And we will co-host their version of a virtual event. We're not going to call it a webinar because we just don't want to use that word anymore, but it's going to be something more exciting than a webinar. And they have an amazing global network. So every time we do this and they bring the hundreds of people together from all over the world, they'll know that Guam is a leader in all this island sustainability work. Okay, thank you. That was my update as a co-chair, Lieutenant Governor. Is there anything else before we hand it over to Lauren for her update?
You know what? No. Well, I was going to say that just that the Guam Green Growth branding is going to be used in our public works projects. So we're doing a considerable amount of road repairs out there. And this is a strategy to move into safer streets, and focuses on safety. But we're starting with the village of Santa Rita. We're doing a tremendous amount of work. So don't be surprised when you go around the island and you start seeing the Guam Green Growth logo on some of the safety signs and some of the literature that's going out.
Lieutenant Governor, should we have Kyle connect with Vince perhaps so that we have the right logos and branding guidelines and all that? The mute.
Lauren, can you allow me to share my screen?
I believe you should be able to. Let me double check.
All
Yep,
right.
you should be good.
Okay. Well, can you see this? This is sort of the artwork that's coming out. I'm not sure, is this the correct logo?
The one on the bottom, sort of.
Bottom right?
Yeah, but we can give you a better one without the white background.
Okay.
Do you want to put it right there in the? Do you want to put it right there in the middle, or is that the SDG logo that's preferred?
You know
Maybe
what?
we should do some. Okay.
Kyle, cool. Reach out to Chloe here at my office. Candice will, or Rob actually will connect you with them.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, Lauren.
All right. So first things first, the G3 annual or biannual meeting recording is available on YouTube. I just put the link in our chat. So most of you are there, but it's nice to just like have it for your records and to be able to share it with your working group members and refer back to it if you needed some information. And I was planning on making the second update, but I'm gonna allow Rita, who is our G3 Associate Coordinator, to make this next update. We have to complement the G3 commitment, an individual action campaign for G3. And we are working with the title right now, I am G3, which means individual actions make G3. So I'm gonna let Rita explain what we're gonna be working on the next couple months.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lauren, for that quick introduction. So as Dr. Shelton has mentioned, we have a lot of G3 implemented projects that are in the works. And so this upcoming G3 project, the IMG3, or the Individual Actions Campaign, is one of the projects that we are hoping to launch a pilot this coming September. And so I will quickly share my screen for one of the asks that we have. And so for this project, we really want to make sure that it is locally and culturally relevant for individuals and that we get, community involvement and feedback in the design of this project. And so we're hoping to have listening sessions conducted in virtually next month, so the month of June. And we are inviting community members, community organizers, leaders, to participate in this. And we're also going to give a small thank you gift for participating. But essentially, yes, it's essentially to get feedback from the community. And so if you know anyone in your network or even in your agency or office that would be interested in participating, we welcome them. Again, it could be someone who's just heard of G3, someone who's very active in their community as an activist or who partakes in community events, or even those who organize community events, in a government position or nonprofit position, or just someone who's passionate about community engagement. Because from this listening session, we will take that feedback and the learnings to share how that's going to impact the design of this next project, the G3 Individual Actions Campaign, or IMG3. So we're still wordsmithing the name, but that's the idea. And again, this listening session, the information and feedback that we get from it will be super important and crucial in designing our pilot for September. And you may also see in the agenda that there's an app that we're also looking into creating. And so again, all the information that we get from this listening session will not just inform how we design the pilot for September, but as well as the app that we are looking into creating and implementing into the community to really get them involved in all these different projects that we're implementing here at G3. And I can share in the chat this link to register. And I believe Lauren can also share this with all the working group members to share in their network. And so the hope is to get people registered by June 4th and to find a good time for those people who've registered to meet in the month of June. So let me just share that in the chat. Right. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Rita. So I will, once I have the meeting minutes prepared, I'll go ahead and send the flyer along to with the meeting minutes. So one update that is not on the agenda, but I want to sneak it in before we get on to the next topic is G3 has a Twitter account. Our fabulous new Assistant Director of Communications helped us make it. And I started following some people. So please follow our Twitter account if you have a Twitter. Please help us find accounts that are worth following that could help us grow our network as well. So I put the link in the chat, and I will put the link in the meeting minutes when we send that out to you next week. Okay. So my big update is that I'm going to send the working group a updated, cleaner version of the G3 Action Framework version 2. So this is what the second version of the document will be based on, and I'll share my screen so you could see. So the big thing to notice right now is that there are some things that are highlighted orange, and that will only be in the metrics column. And it's highlighted orange because there needs to be a more clearly defined target. So for instance here, the metric is number of jobs created, but how will we know if we're going to meet our goal? Is it 100 jobs created? Is it 1,000 jobs created? And so by September, it would be good if we had all these orange areas just a little more defined. And maybe we need to just consider, is this the exact metric that we want to measure? For instance, the goal is food system, big data, and linked data to food policies. So just making sure that we have the appropriate metric and have a target to make sure we're measuring towards. So how do we know if we are successful? So there's a few of them in everyone's sections, and that's totally all right. Everyone just has to define a few things, and I will be able to help you throughout your next working group team meetings so we could figure this out together. Another thing that's new is this column. It's a column so we could track completion. So we had an updates column, and we've been using it for various things, and some people were putting in when something was completed or what still needs to be done, but I thought it would be better if we just made just one additional column for us to track what has been completed. So I put an example here that the G3 Island Beautification and Recycling Project action item has been initiated. And if we go down to, sorry, the scroll is dizzying. But for instance here, support the Guam Tropical Energy Code approval. So action item is complete because the Tropical Energy Code has been approved. So again, I will help you guys go through this updated document to fill out things as needed. We don't have to fill out every single thing. Let's just focus on keeping track of what is already happening and what is being completed. And we would know if something is blank, that means it needs help to be pushed further along. So are there any questions with that so far? Okay, so I will send out this new and improved version along with the meeting minutes. And so everyone will have the same copy. So there were a few edits that were made to the last version when we added in new goals and we made some refinements. So this will be the next copy to be working on with your working group teams. And the last thing pertaining to the framework is that Rita and I will be working together to figure out what would be the secondary and tertiary indicators. So we worked with you to figure out the primary indicators, what would be the high level metrics that will be displayed on the front of the dashboard, and a secondary indicator, something that supports the information that we find there. So for instance, switching to renewable energy, the big metric is how much of our energy is derived from renewable resources. And so a secondary indicator could be something like number of buildings with solar or number of solar power plants on Guam. So it's just, it helps give an additional piece of the story to that main primary indicator. And a tertiary indicator, that's something that's already, it's sort of like a data that's being collected by another organization. So Department of Agriculture Forestry Division, they have another dashboard right now that's solely on fire. So that is a tertiary indicator because that is another dashboard that is developed by another entity that we can link to because they are a G3 partner. And it's information that's relevant to the goals in the framework. Does that make sense? Okay, and if you have more questions, I know those were some very specific examples. You could work through it in your team meetings with, you know, the nuances that come with everything that comes up. And again, this is a process that we are working on together. So there's some calls that we have to make right in the moment if it's a secondary or tertiary. So we'll figure it out together. And I think that our dashboard, once we start to expand it, will be really attractive and help inform our community about the work everyone's doing and help engage the community to be a part of this sustainability initiative. So those were all of my updates. Hi, Angie, you have a question?
Do you have to have secondary or tertiary indicators? What happens if, I just don't want it to become so more complicated.
Right. That's a good point. We don't have to have all those levels of indication, or we don't have to have too many indicators. It's just what information is most engaging and most relevant. So like a story map is a secondary indicator as well. And it just like in one of your subcategories, you put number of communities engaged in protected areas. So we could have a story map highlighting like Pneumatic or highlighting the Maritza community about how they are working towards sustainability in their area. And it doesn't have to be, doesn't have to make the page longer, but it could be like a picture and then you could click on the map and it'll say some additional information.
So is that what's going to go also into the dashboard?
Yes. So our dashboard right now is just one page, but we are working to make sure that each category of action has its own page. So the primary indicators will be on the front. For instance, percentage of marine areas protected. So if you click on that, it will open up to tell more information about how marine areas are protected and what our marine protected areas are. So it's just a little more information.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Okay, if there aren't any more questions with that, we could go ahead and go on to updates from the team leads. You are not, like, you don't have to give an update if you don't have an update, but just anything that you wish to share with the group.
Hi everybody, this is Lola. Our group did meet the last week of last month. There was roughly maybe just 3 or 4 of us on the call. We had UOG in the call, and then we had someone from Guam State Clearinghouse, as well as Lauren and Gita. So we did discuss information regarding how, I guess with Lauren, how does BSP capture, requests for data from agencies? And an example that we discussed was the compact impact. And an idea was to basically or to allow Lauren to meet with Monica from our planning information program, but I actually did not send an email in regards to this. So Lauren, I will send an email to Monica to communicate with you. Because what we do is we do send out a table to all the agencies in reference to collecting compact impact data. So it's not them asking. We're basically, we have a format. We send it out to them in the template that we want, and then the information is provided. So what we do have at BSP for the planning and information program regarding data is the Guam Statistical Yearbook, which is basically information that comes from the census. So we will be getting the census, the 2020 census data soon, as well as the Guam facts and figure. On our call last month, we also discussed kind of creating a statistical analysis center, which will involve exploring resources to actually implement one. And the discussion was, maybe this is something that we might want to explore with the University of Guam. So that's information to come. So, because I was actually supposed to do research, but I have not had time to do the research to explore the funding sources for that. And that's about it.
I'll go next. We have nothing to report. We're meeting next week. Next month we'll have something to say. I will say though, Miracle said that we had over 4,000 people on Facebook watching our Micronesia Challenge celebration that we just were talking about. So that's a great number of people watching our through Facebook.
I can go next. So the Guam Green Growth Youth Ambassadors, we've been in a lull a bit. We did have a wave planned to get the Guam Green Growth idea out there with the community, but due to poor weather, I think last week, Friday, it was either postponed or canceled. Other than that, we'll continue to meet and discuss and share with each other all the opportunities that is offered. And I just want to say that personally, I am very excited for the Conservation Corps. That's something that I've always wanted for Guam to have. And I'm so excited that with the Biden administration, something like that is reflective to something that we have here in Guam. Other than that, I enjoyed the conversation and the direction that we're heading in.
Thanks, Kyle. I just wanted to say that if when you're ready to reschedule the wave, we're ready to support. You might have seen in the picture earlier with the mayors, the Guam Green Growth cutouts and the SDG cutouts. Those were made for the wave, so we're excited to get those back out and let you use them. And then the Conservation Corps, it's not going to be available for full-time students because it's a full-time commitment, but we hope you can coordinate with us to come out and do some of the activities as the we have 12 positions available. We want to be able to include as many volunteers as possible throughout the 5 months on all the different types of activities.
Sounds great.
So Educated, Capable, Compassionate Island, I don't see any of the steering committee leads here. And I don't see any of the steering committee members from Sustainable Hut. Ricky is here. Ricky, would you like to make an update?
Hey, Lauren. Update regarding public engagement and data. We have not yet met since the biannual meeting, but we have had individual conversations with members. I know that you had mentioned you met with, and we've been kind of engaged with Hawaii Green Growth and their and one of their committees somewhat related to our data and public engagement team. So I guess as we continue to refine the metrics from each of the groups, each of the action groups, then we can, continue. I know Rita has been working very hard in terms of getting those metrics on the website and the dashboard. So we continue to support and provide any guidance as necessary. But that's all the updates I have. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, great. So that's all our updates from the teammates. And our last item on the agenda is the G3 Action Framework version 2 approval. I had emailed everyone 3 documents a little over a week ago with the proposed text for the G3 Action Framework that comes up before the actual tables that list all our goals and metrics that we've worked on together. And so I was wondering if folks had time to review and had any comments or requested updates, or if everyone is okay with approving that document and for us to send it to the governor tomorrow.
Hi, Lauren. So I did review the one for the recommendation for the Healthy and Prosperous Communities for Community Garden and Sea Grant Aquaculture and Aquaponic Project. I don't have any concerns other than, I guess here, one of the SMART objectives was really, to do these things, we actually need to identify funding and partnerships. So I have no concerns. I'm not sure of Mel, but it looks good. Should be okay.
Okay, great. And if anything, Dr. Shelton is the action lead, so we can make sure he stays on it. Okay. Any other concerns? Or any concerns or non-concerns?
Okay, if there are no concerns, could we take a vote so that we, by the steering committee members that are present here, may I please request a motion for a vote for approval?
I'm good. I approve.
Okay, Lola, could you, we'll just take this for formal minutes if you don't mind making the motion to take a vote to approve.
Okay. I make the motion to approve the updates for the G3 action framework.
I second.
Proposed edition.
Second.
Okay. Second by Vanjie. Any discussion? Now, can all the steering committee members please indicate your vote in the chat, or like Kyle is doing and Trina are doing with thumbs up or yeses? Okay. Anybody else? Mel, we need your vote. Okay. Well, based on who we have here, we have unanimous support. So thank you very much. The motion passes. And Rita, I hope you got all the names down for the yes vote, so we can put those into the minutes. And we will pass that on to the governor and lieutenant governor for their signatures. And then we'll have the official version 2 emailed out to everybody and posted onto the website. Okay. Good. Thank you very much, everybody, for that. That's one big step. Lauren, do we have more things on the agenda? We good?
That was our entire agenda, and we are at 47 minutes into the meeting, so we can end early.
Okay. I don't, motion to adjourn, anybody?
I make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Okay. I don't think that one needs a vote, so we're good. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you next month.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.